Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Mosoma Augustine. If it's your first time here, as usual, remember to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and also remember to like for the purpose of the algorithm. So today, I thought I should share some of the best books which I believe as you as an individual have to read. It's not mandatory, but I encourage you to read some of these books. And if you are in a position maybe to order the 10 books which I've already recommended, write those in the comment section. So first one, Rich Dad Poor Dad. This is the first book which I kind of read that somehow awakened me to the realities of the financial world in terms of economic freedom and creating wealth. So Robert Kiyosaki tends to give out an outline symbol to even kids can understand, and he outlines the really purpose of education, which we thought that education is there to ensure that you as an individual has build good wealth, has become out financially successful. But in the real sense, the education system is there to create those people who are dependent on the government, those people who are employers on the government or even the private sector, and it doesn't equip you as an individual on how you can create your own wealth so that you can live your life in your own terms. So Robert Kiyosaki defines some of the terms which we were used to define in schools in a simple manner, which you can understand. For instance, what's an asset, what's a liability, and these terms, once you realize the clear definition of those terms, then you will be in a position to be kind of financially literate, and you can do some more things which he has recommended in this book, and you can become out financially, even not successful, at least you will be in a good position. Another book, which is the next one, is 5 a.m. Club. This is written by Robin Sharma, and it's kind of a book which awakens you to the realities of the world, that you have a lot of potential which is unfulfilled, and once you decide that you are going to pursue your own potential which you have, then you will be in a position to change the world for a better place, and you will live a life which is kind of fulfilled. And this book really puts you in a position to see how the elites work, how the elites people live, how those people who have built large companies, Fortune 500 companies, then tends to live their own lives, and in what way can you as an individual in your own terms live a fulfilled life and ensure that your potential is not wasted. So I can recommend for you that also. Another book which I can recommend for you as an individual is a book known as The Alchemist. This is by Paul Coelho, something like that. Coelho, that pronunciation of the second name, I would like you to inspire me how is that name pronounced. So this book also is a book which forces you to internalize what your life is. It forces you to see how are you living your own lives. Have you decided to be complacent? Have you decided to give up on your own dreams, maybe to live a comfortable life? So this is a book which tends to discourage you from being comfortable with your own life at the moment, and probably pursue what you were meant for, instead of you living a comfortable life, giving up on your dreams, and in the near future you are going to live in regrets. You are going to live a bitter life because you never pursued your own dreams while you were at least a young person. So The Alchemist, this book forces you as an individual to pursue your own dreams, to not live a comfortable life, for a life which you are meant for, which is more prosperous life. So this is a book which can at least ensure you as an individual you have followed your own purpose and you don't settle for less. So this is a must read book for you as an individual. Another book is by Malcolm X. Malcolm X is kind of a hero for me in terms of political activism. So this is an individual who lived a life which was so miserable. While he was young, his father was killed, his family was tortured, but he ended up in prison, and that's where he was kind of awakened to what a human being, a fulfilled human being is. And he converted into Islam, and then he became a person who was fighting for the rights of the black people and also the black nation, the black American people. So this is an individual who inspires you that whichever circumstances you are at the moment, you can turn your life around and be a person of great influence, of great benefit on this planet. So Malcolm X, while he was young, probably there were no chances, or there was no person who can say that this will be one of the greatest African American person in the 19th century, even the 20th century. Even the generations to come will always remember Malcolm X as a person who fought for the rights of the black people. Another book which I can also recommend for you is the biography of Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs is my own personal hero in terms of the business world. He built Apple from scratch, and he was together with Steve Wozniak. In terms, Steve Jobs was kind of business savvy, while Steve Wozniak was technological savvy, and they ended up combining these traits and went to build one of the greatest companies, or one of the greatest brands on the planet. So if you are an individual who is interested in building a business, in coming back from a raw position, then this is a must read book, because it it enables you to understand how Steve Jobs was able to build a company which he was also outset from, because he was forced out of the company, and then he went like 10 years later, he came back to the same company, and then he built one of the greatest companies on the planet. Also, there's some of the companies which he built like the Next, which he was later bought by Apple and Pixar. So if you really want to build a great brand, a great business, if you want to focus on a few things which can change the lives of people on the planet, then read this book, The Biography of Steve Jobs. Another book is Crush It by Gal Fanja. I was introduced to the world of content creation because I was able to come across this book by Gal Fanja, that is Crush It. Crush It enables you as an individual to understand what are your talents, what are your passions, and how can you turn these passions into something which is so meaningful. I mean, how can you do something which you love and make some cash, make a living out of these passions? So if you are that individual who is interested to start content creation, who's interested to do something which he or she loves and make a living out of it, then Crush It by Gal Famjak is a number one recommendation for you. This book inspires you on how you will enable other individuals to achieve their own goals, how you will enable other individuals to meet their own needs, and in return, you will live a life which is fulfilled. You will build a business out of it. Then we have the 12 Rules of Life. 12 Rules of Life is a book written by Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson is kind of an individual who has gained public attention since I believe it was 2017. But this book enables you as an individual to understand what are some of the things which act as a barrier in your own life. How can you remove these barriers? How can you live a fulfilled life? How can you make sacrifices in order for you to have an improved life? So this book ensures you as an individual that you have internalized some of those problems which you have. You have come across those problems which you have as an individual, and how you would tackle those challenges. And once you come out of those challenges, you are going to be a successful person, or at least an improved person. Next is The Richest Man in Babylon. So every individual, or at least every person on this planet, want to live some kind of a financially free life. You don't want to strain in terms of wealth. You don't want to work until you die. So The Alchemist is one of the shortest books, but it has a lot of wisdom in terms of how you can create your own wealth. Creating wealth takes some years, but this book enables you to have an understanding on how you can have your own investments, on how you can have your own small businesses, not really small businesses, but how you can save your own money and build wealth out of that money or out of those resources. So it's a must read if you really want to be financially free. Read this book, that is the richest man in Babylon. Another book by Gary Vaynerchuk is Crushing It. This is a book which I believe came after Crush It, and it gives testimonials of those individuals who have already made it in creating content, who have made it in creating something which they love and they have made a living out of it. It gives testimonials of those individuals who have created YouTube channels, podcasts, who have created a Twitter following and they have made a living out of those creating content scenario. So if you really are a person of content creation, then this is a must read book for you to kind of be inspired, to have an understanding that there are some people who have made it and you can also make it. Lastly but not least is The Atomic Habits by James Clear. So it's really difficult, for instance, in terms of content creation to be consistent. In terms of creating wealth, it's also so difficult to be consistent. But if you create those habits which can ensure that this is repeated consistently, then you are able to have a great content creation procedure. You are going to have a great resources in terms of your wealth, because consistency is actually the key to end success. So James Clear comes with The Atomic Habits. It's a book which has been in existence like 5 years. So if you really want to be successful in creating habits, then this is a must read book. I would like your recommendations. What are some of the books which you have read which changed your life, which you can also recommend to other individuals? Remember to subscribe, remember to like, remember to share. My name has been Musioma Augustine. Today I decided to have a kind of a talk to camera communication because there's a video which I produced last and an individual said, why can't you show your own face? So that is it from me. See you in my next one. Peace.